you want to be making moves on the street. Have no attachments. Allow nothing to be in your life that you cannot walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you spot the heat around the corner. Remember that?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another installment of the G-Funk Junkies Podcast. I'm your host, Wise Up89, here with my co-host, 6190E. What's up, brother?
What's up, my boy? It's good to hear from you, man. I'm sorry I couldn't make the last episode, man. Got tied up on some things.
Don't worry, it was different doing it solo. You know, I'm not used to not having a response when I do my run. So, yeah, your input was definitely missed. But
and Junkettes, if you haven't checked out LSD Fully Strapped Review, I suggest you check it out.
Please do so. Like, comment, share.
Now tell us what's on the sartén, what's on the comal for the night.
Today's episode, we want to explore another maxi single, a 4-track gem from one of the most well-known faces in the genre. I am, of course, talking about Royalty, and today's discussion is 1993's For the 619. Now, I want to start with a little fact. The featured artist that we hear from La Raza crew, guy that goes by the name of Latino, is actually Royal's relative. And from my understanding, this is his uncle, if I'm not mistaken, right?
But it's more like they're cousins since they both grew up together, close in age.
Yeah, that's not too weird, right? It's not too uncommon in our families where we have uncles who are either younger than us or the same age.
Right.
But back to this maxi single, the one and only Steve Vicious had a hand in the making of this, and you can definitely hear it in his instrumentals. It emanates VMF's funk all over the instrumental. You can hear it from the whiny synthesizers and the samples here. So, that's his unmistakable production. As far as I know, this is the only print. What do you make of the cover?
You know what? I got no complaints about the cover. Just the fact that I just don't like the olive kind of green, or it's a weird green. It's the green that you don't see often.
Yeah, I call it the avocado green.
Avocado green.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. I like the way that everything is laid out. Right, his name is arched across the top, and then underneath that you have Old English reading for the 619, which is overlapping the Mexican coat of arms on top of the kiosco from Chicano Park. Right, that temple with the 6'4", the license plate that says no techno. So I think that's cool. I just wish that green cover was actually white. If this was white, this would have stood out on any shelf. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have blended in with anything else. It would have just stood out and you called the right type of attention.
Let's give our listeners a little bit of facts and information about this back cover. As you see, this has all three members pictured of La Raza crew, which would be Royal, Latino, and DJ Wicked. The La Raza mural that you see in the middle was intended to be used as a cover at one point. And the rest are just, little pictures here and there of all of the members just posing out. One of the pictures on the top right corner, I can see he's driving a Mercedes 190E, and I can tell by the driver's side left pillar and the way the seatbelt hangs, that's actually the model of one of my little project cars that I drive. So I just want to tell the fans that, I drive a 190E, and I wanted to go ahead and merge the fact that, I'm in San Diego. So, not only am I in the 619, but I'm also in the 190E. So, Wise, don't you want to tell our listeners how I believe this EP influenced our logo in some way, shape, or form or manner?
Yes. So if you've seen the last episode that I posted on YouTube, I modified the logo a little bit. Now, this is one of two influences that this particular EP has had on the G-Funk Junkies. The first one is that logo, right? So if you've seen the modified logo I put, that was one of the first versions that Six and I were kicking back and forth. So that's the kiosco at Chicano Park. If you've ever been to San Diego, to Barrio Logan's Chicano Park, you'll see that temple there. And obviously the Mexican coat of arms. If you look at that logo I have there, there's a disc, I should say a vinyl rising in the back. And in the center, where you typically have the little seal or sticker, is actually the Mexican coat of arms. So thank you, Royal, for inspiring the G-Funk Junkies second logo. But yeah, thanks for reminding me of mentioning that to the junkies.
Just wanted to say just a couple of just quick facts real quick. I know that this EP, through a close source for Royal, it was released at the end of '93. Now, Royal recorded 4 songs for this EP, so he would not waste good songs for a future album that never came out and still unreleased till this day.
Man, say what you will about Royal's business practices, but I have to admit this maxi single and Coast to Coast are a must-have in anybody's collection. I mean, I always stress that less is more, so I typically like an album that's, 10, 13 tracks long. But when I see these EPs that are like 4, maybe 5 or 6 songs, dude, I can't get enough of them. I mean, quality and content, dude, go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying?
Just a rarity, especially in CD now.
You know what I noticed? That San Diego has a lot of these, right? So there's that the one that Night Owl Little One put out, Finger on the Trigger. That's like 4 songs, right?
Right.
Then there's that Brown and GPA tape. That's like 5 tracks. Then we have the California Mac by OFI. That's another 4 tracks. Then you got this little maxi single, 4 tracks. So I don't know, man. San Diego was onto something. I'm surprised that LA Fools didn't really catch on to that shit.
We're ahead of the game.
Ahead of the game, dude.
I also wanted to say that Maury Alexander wanted to sign Royal to Virgin Records, but Royal got persuaded by Cliff Richie to go under the wing as guidance. So that's all. Some facts that I got to dig up for our listeners.
That's good, man. That's good. And you can actually hear some of that information dropped on, was it the Gangster Chronicles that Royal appeared on the first time around? I think he mentioned some of that stuff. So the first track, man, Juicy Thing. Tell me what you think the moment you hear the shit.
I got quite to say about this song.
Shoot.
I personally think it's the Juicy Thing. I personally think it's the best song out of the EP. It's my personal favorite, even though it's quite like a lovey-dovey song, but not that lovey. I love how BMF and Royal sampled M-Tube's Juicy Fruit. Not a fan of the non-chorus songs, but this is an exception. He led the beat ride plus the addition of business background vocals. It makes it enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
This song displays that Royal's always had a mouthpiece on him, especially for the honeys. He was on some smooth Mac shit, just rapping a lot of game on this track. The first 10 to 45 seconds displays that easy. I also love how he ends the first verse. It goes like this: every curve you deserve, and I'm observing your body while I'm cruising down highway. Got me swerving. So that's that. I love that line.
Yes, yes. I totally agree with that.
So now, am I lying wise? All of us at one point in our lives have turned away from the wheel for a little bit to watch a fly-ass female.
Can't deny that, we're all rubberneckers.
Yeah. So now, not counting, Frost or Lighter Shade of Brown's attempt at mainstream, I think this song specifically is the first of its kind in Chicano rap, before MBK or MB Riders, whatever you want to call them, Brown Boy, Baby Bash, Mr. Sancho. But this song portrays about a female in a very masculine way that doesn't sound childish or high schoolish. It's not all lovey-dovey, but just also a small fact I wanted to add about this song. This song was dedicated to Royal's wife, who is still married to.
Hey, man, congratulations to his longevity, man, because I've been married going on 13 years this year, and I'm only 32.
And props to you. I think it's hard to even stay married today.
Yeah, right?
But what I also like about the song is the order of his verses. It sounds like the stages of his love life. Verse 1, he's getting at his lady, getting to know her, trying to conquistarla, pues. And verse 2, it's talking about the love and the feelings he's getting for his girl. And verse 3, just making adult moves, power moves with his lady, settling down, starting a family, and he did it in a non-corny way. But before I give the mic to you, dog, just my closing thoughts is, I would like to send a message to the two-time junior middleweight champ and once very popular boxer in our culture from La Colonia of Oxnard, Fernando El Feroz Vargas. He once said in a documentary called Money, Pound, Respect with the following statement.
Mexicans fit a stereotype. Mexican rappers fit a stereotype as I'm in my lowrider, bouncing up and down. And to me, that's whack. I'm Mexican and I'm proud to be Mexican, but at the same time, I want to hear music that's with passion, that's with, that talks about struggle, that talks about, life type shit.
Now, I'm here to tell the former champ that Chicano rap is here to prove him wrong. Here's a song that talks about passion, triumph, love, and cruising, all in one, in a G-Funk way. So, before I give if I want to give it a stamp or not, I'm just going to go ahead and just give the mic to you, dog. What are your thoughts on this track?
Man, how do I match that? Let me just add a few things, and you hit the nail on the head on a lot of things I wanted to say. I think Royal's pitch is blended really well with the beat, and that's a very good compliment because he rides it naturally. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like there's a symbiotic relationship between his rapping and the instrumental. So I really like that. Second, I really like the soft bass and tempo because it's crafted that signature synthesizer sound from BMF. And I like this version better, right? The original versus the 98 version that came out in Coast to Coast, because that one, they edited some things and made it a little bit of annoying high-pitched sound, so you can hear like a beeping, whining sound.
Just another day for the royal to bail, 'cause I never see the fine females as I hit the spot in my drop top.
It gets louder on the 98 version compared to this. That line you mentioned about, how he ends that rhyme with, your every curve you deserve and observing your body while I'm cruising Highland got me swerving.
Right.
The way that he structures that rhyme, bro, he does this about 8 times in the song. So I paid attention because I really liked the way that he was dropping it because it's very captivating. It's not just like rhyming A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, right? So this guy's got internal rhyme structure, and I'm not sure if he did that on purpose. I'm assuming he did because he did it at least 8 times, so that shows me that it was done with purpose. And I really like the way he did it because, another line you heard on here was he goes, the silly things that we did, who made it happen, got a crib and or a newborn kid,
new baby on the way. Yeah, something like that. Something along those lines.
So
that part was hard too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then he says, hit the spot in my drop tops, sweet young thing. So it's like he rhymes it like 3 times, right? So instead of just having, the word rhyme twice, he does it the 3rd time, and it adds that extra captivating effect. You know what I mean? It really pushes the song to a different envelope. So I really like that. I like this version again better than the 98 one because Biz's vocals are really, mellowed out. Versus in the Coast to Coast version, man, suena bien gritón. You know what I mean? Like he's just he's a little over the top. So I like it when a song doesn't have a chorus per se. Sometimes the beat just rides along, and I wish that the last 30 seconds of the song, it's just the beat playing with a different different keyboard sound playing, and that synthesizer, dog. If they would have just put that as the chorus, I would have been fucking happy. This song would have been 10 out of 10. But yeah, this shit gets the seal of approval, dog.
All right, same thing. You already knew my answer on that one.
Simon. What about what do you make of Vatos Cholos?
I think it's BMF's best beat of the EP. Strong opening first verse from Royal. Paints a good picture of a homie living in the West Coast lifestyle in the 90s.
Rolling in my 64 Impala, the hot switch, rag top, Glock 9, leaning for the switches.
Like I've said before, not a fan of the non-choruses, but exceptions are made when it's a sick-ass beat. You know, has a little bit of everything that you and I would like. 90s sound, bass, light sampling on the chorus, plus some old school DJ scratching. I like how Latino kicks off the second verse. You know, he's coordinating rhythm, you know, at 2 times that the beat starts in positive to then only continue his verse. So the verse is tolerable at best, but the wordplay is real childish. And, you know, he has these singing undertones. It's just not my kind of shot of tequila. Catch my drift.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was a lot younger when I heard this, my take on the song would be different. But Royal's verses and BMF's production saved this song. So Royal finishes off strong. You know, I love how he utilizes Chicano slang in good light, not making it sound corny or trying too hard or overemphasize the accent.
I hate the pigs trying to creep, so I don't sleep unless I'm kicking with a hind between the sheets. I hit the front to the back to the side too. That's the group.
That's my G-Funk Junkies stamp of approval. What about you, Doc?
Yeah, so I agree with a few things. I dig the instrumental, definitely. I mean, that's probably the most captivating thing about the song itself. But, I think VMF has this tendency to overcrowd his instrumentals. Not to say that I don't like it, but I could tell that there's a whole lot going on. You know what I mean? There's all types of samples. You hear like 4 or 5 different samples. And then you hear the instrumental, the synthesizer, and then you hear like, a vocoder in the back. So I feel like there's a lot crammed in here, but I like it. You know what I mean? So the samples that I caught on here was Ice Cube's line from Fuck the Police, where he goes, got it bad because I'm brown. So I thought that was dope. I've always loved that part. And then the other part that you can catch here. So this is from Lighter Shade of Brown from the song El Barrio. And that's where you hear the part that goes, Mexican, fucking up the program. From their chorus, which is funny that they sampled it for this chorus. And then lastly, you hear the Dr. Dre's Let Me Ride. And you hear Kid Frost's line from La Raza, right? The title of the song here. No, I really like the vocoder in the back because it's hidden. You know what I mean? It's in the layers of the track, not necessarily overpowering the track. Like when you hear fucking MU Riders, the vocoder is like overpowering the sample and or the song itself. And so I like how this one was really toned down. And I couldn't stand Latino's freaking verse, bro. That guy sounds like his nuts never dropped.
With my 9 milli, I'm here like tequila. It sounds kind of silly, but it's true.
So, luckily Royal's verses save the song, right? Because he does the first and the last. So, I like it. I dig it. I still bump it.
Yeah, so Latino stayed on shriveled mode. It happens.
Let me ask you, track number 2, does that get your seal of approval?
Oh, most definitely, man. Slam the gavel line.
Boom. But moving on, dude, for the 619, man.
Man, I got a lot of mixed feelings about this one. To make it easier so I won't confuse anyone with what I'm about to say, I wish I can mesh the EP's version. And Royalty's Coast to Coast version of the 619 both in one, if I were to have things my way. But
okay.
Although he's repping the turf in our area code, I don't like the EP's versions of the chorus, man.
Me neither.
I've never been a big fan of like the live performances, on CD. So, he has like that pump up the crowd kind of thing going on, and then it's on top of that on the studio version of the song. So I I definitely don't like that. I wish I can replace it with, Royal's 6-1 on the 619 version of Coast to Coast. Now that shit's just fucking fire. But which makes me want to add a fact. Little fun fact that I discovered is that the reason why the songs are similar but switched up for Coast to Coast, because a source close to Royal said that the beat and the chorus was changed on Coast to Coast due for reasons that at the time Zapp and Roger they started suing people left and right for the sampling of more bounce to the ounce. So they had to change it.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to add that how you didn't like the 98 version of Juicy Thing on the Coast to Coast because you said it just sounds really loud compared to the production of the beat.
Yeah.
I feel this song does the exact same thing. So personally, the song's not bad on the EP, but I just wish they would switch the choruses. There's just the opening line of the song, though, I'm not really too big on. It goes, no, I'm the locust, spotted from the airport. Just talk shit. They don't know I have my cuete. So it's like I can see how some people can be turned off to Chicano rap at times, especially when they're not familiar with Spanish, yet alone the slang. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely turned off by the line, which it makes me realize the hypocrisy that Chicano rap has at times. We have a lot of things that isolates us. 1 minute, our people in the rap game say that rap is just rap. And, why does it have to be Chicano rap? And then I hear I only make music for Chicanos. They're the only ones bumping my shit. So those are my closing thoughts on that song, man. I'm still iffy on the song. I wish the song doesn't exist that I want, which would be mixing up both versions. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to you, dog. See what you got to say about this.
So with regards to this song, I can see how this could be somebody's favorite track, all because it samples more bounce to the ounce, right? It loops the beat, and then you hear that funky vocoder from Roger that goes, yeah, 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 yeah. So, that shit is dope. That's probably one of my favorite snippets from More Bounce to the Ounce. So kudos to Royal for tapping in on that. But I'm not sure why this song is edited, right? So that first part where he starts off his chorus, I think it scratches when he says that he's from the Este. So I don't understand why that shit was edited in that manner, because it's not on the 98 version, right? On the Coast to Coast, but that's a whole different story. Only Royal could explain that to us. What I don't like about the chorus is that we just hear Royal yelling, "I'm from the," you know what I mean? Like it's just him yelling in your ear. You know what I mean? So. I think there could have been more creativity to it. So I believe, in a different discussion that we had, you had mentioned how that same source that's close to Royal had told you that he had some influence from that Bangin' on Wax song, right?
Oh, right. I forgot to add that.
Yeah. So I can hear it. You know what I mean? I hear the sample, I hear the pace of the song, and which makes me connect it to another thing that circles back to the sample. So I wish that he would have gone the same route that G-Lan, who is a member or was on that group of Bloods and Crips. He did a song called, I think it's called G-Funk, but it samples More Bounce to the Ounce too. And then the first 20 seconds when the actual song starts, not the intro, but the actual song, man, dude, it's really captivating. And I'm going to play it for the junkies to hear, just so they can hear that, what I wish Royal would have sampled. Because if he would have sampled that snippet instead of doing his own fucking chorus, bro, this song would be a whole different fucking feeling. You know what I mean? Overall, I mean, I still like this version better than the Coast to Coast version. And that's not to say that I don't like VMF being featured on the other one. It's just I'm a sucker for more bounce of the ounce samples. You know what I mean?
You know what? I can't lie. I'm not too big on the cadence of VMS for songs coast to coast.
I'm not. Yeah, same here. You know what I mean? I think he's had better features, but either way. And then the other, circling back to what I mentioned about the cover, how Royal inspired me. This is the second thing right here. So our theme song for the G-Funk Junkies podcast is partly inspired by this track right here. And that part, two parts of it, right? So the yeah. That's number one. Number two is I wanted to incorporate Royal's line where he says the veteranos straight up out of San Diego. I ended up taking another San Diego rapper's line. I took LAZ. So it just, it flowed better with the pace of the song, but Royal influenced me on that. So that's another shout out I want to give to him.
So, closing thoughts on the song?
I like it. I play it. I dig it. I give it my seal. What about you?
Man, I'm really iffy. It's a situational seal. The chorus really disturbs it, man. I wish it had the chorus from the coast to coast one. It's very situational, man. But I'm really iffy, man. I might have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah. So for the fans listening, if you can edit the chorus out, and I believe there's like a 15-second clip of the song where the instrumental just plays without any lyrics. If you guys can loop that into the song and edit it, the version we want to hear, I'm all ears, man. I'll even play it and I'll give you props and everything. But anyway,
same here.
Track number 4, dog, the last one, Pumps in the Air. Tell me what you think of this.
Right. Opening of the beat. There's no mistake that it's a Cypress Hill doppelganger clone influence beat, right?
Yeah.
Royal adds his style to the song, so props to him on that, but it's obvious that he's also putting in B-Real's rhyme schemes and patterns. Now, you'll pick it up if you listen to your fair share of Cypress Hill. I'm happy Royal did not attempt to do like the nasal high-pitched tone that B-Real's known for doing.
Yeah.
This reminds me of, man, the name of the song that our talented carnal, that's probably one of the most underrated talents ever in hip-hop, Cosme. You said he did a song, right? And I forgot what it was called, but I have heard it. Guys, check that out. Tell us what you think. The source that was close to Royal, they said that pretty much that he knew that Bobby, from DWTX from Lighter Shade of Brown, he was around him a lot and he was bumping a lot of Cypress Hill. So he saw that the style was catching on, that it was new, different, and innovative. So Royal wanted to capitalize and experiment with the new style. Just how like autotune and mumble rap affected the hip hop world at one time. So, but my closing thoughts on the track, in all honesty, man, like the famous Dub C from the West Side Connection, skip connection, because I'd rather just listen to Cypress Hills, man, hand on the pump instead. There's no need for me to listen to this song. Yeah, my bad, Royal, but you've done better.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic.
Yeah, you know
Big
what?
Wise.
So, wise words from the wise. So, when I first bought this EP or maxi single years ago, this was a track I would skip. And, I skipped it more often than not. But, I first wrote about this maxi single for Khalifa Rap. So, shout out to Funk and all of them, Khalifa Rap. But, I wrote my thoughts on this little project, and because I heard it so many times, it kind of grew on me. I like the sample, right? So the chorus, I really think that's missing in hip hop is just, instead of actually singing or rapping a chorus or something, I think incorporating a portion of another song and mixing it in, with scratching and DJing and shit. I think that's really missing in hip hop. So kudos to Royal for doing that shit. But yeah, you can definitely tell that he borrows heavily from Cypress Hill's style of rapping, right? I mean, not necessarily the nasal form. I'm sorry, not the nasal delivery that Be Real does, but just the way that it comes off, right? The energy that it emanates. But that's not the first time that I've heard Chicanos being or drawing influence from Cypress Hill. There's a few songs that I can name off the top of my head. Number one, Brown Pride's Got 'Em on the Run has a sample directly from Cypress Hill. Kid Frost, King of the Hill, that was actually a diss song. But, number one, he attempts the same type of beat. Royal song here and the song by Brown Pride, they don't try to make a mockery of Be Real style of rapping or the Cypress Hill style of instrumentals. They actually try to emulate it. But Kid Frost was trying to clown that type of beat, you know what I mean? And then he was, jockeying style of rapping too.
You're gonna get left with a stump cause I'm insane in the membrane and my hands on the book. I got the A to the motherfucking K for the list.
Then on the mainstream, we actually had West Side Connection's same titled song, right, King of the Hill, where they were trying to copy, trying to mock a Cypress Hill style of beat, right? You know how it was? Yeah, exactly. You could definitely tell that even Ice Cube has had other songs that, borrow heavily from Cypress Hill, like the song Wicked. You know what I mean? He definitely was picking up on their style and shit.
Wicked.
But, in summary, I can stand the song. You know what I mean? It's not my favorite, but I can stand it. And yeah, he's made better songs, but it's this maxi single is still full of quality, so I can play it. So now that we wounded down the project here, I think that this was well worth the $5 that I spent on this. So I bought this directly from Royal a number of years ago, or from his website. It's got no fillers, no junk, no bullshit. And after listening to this maxi single, time and time again, I got a question. Is there more tracks that were unreleased that were meant to be on this album? And that was a nagging sensation I had, and that was answered this year or last, I forgot when Royal did that interview with Gangsta Chronicles. Yeah, no, Gangsta Chronicles. That's when he said that he was holding off on all that music, so I want to hear it. So Royal fucking dropped it already,
man.
damn it.
Same here.
But you know what? Other thing I wanted to mention, dude, is for being something that dropped in 1993, this shit was way ahead of its time compared to the contemporary music of his peers. You know what I mean? Like for people that were dropping music in 1993, right? So if you listen to who was out in 93, Proper Those, Kid Frost, Lighter Shade of Brown, their shit didn't sound anything like this, bro. This was way ahead. Like if you listen to this album, you would think that it's at least 1996, maybe 95. You know what I mean?
Good observation.
Yeah, because not even Night Owl's first album sounds anything like this. Maybe one or two tracks, but nothing as cohesive as the sound sounds here. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. No, I'm glad that I own this. I wanted to own it, so like I said, it's an EP out of a dude from San Diego. You know what I mean? So and it's Chicano rap, and it's pretty good. I would still buy it.
Yeah. No, definitely, dude. I think this was a good prelude to Coast to Coast. You know what I mean? Like a good project leading up to a bigger project. So I think Royal should have really stuck to the script and continued dropping music like this. I wasn't too thrilled about the direction he took his label and his artists and everything in for the turn of the century, but if he would have continued on this path, I would definitely think that people would hold him in higher regard.
Yeah, right. I think definitely Royal's early works definitely go underrated, but he had to change the direction once he decided to be the operation and just look out for everybody else in the record label and do his own thing. It kind of took away from his creativity and his solo career music, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said, he's a big contributor to our raza, one of the pioneers. So,
most definitely.
So, G-Funk Junkies and Junkettes, man, our time is coming to an end. We wanted to say, thank you for listening. We want to go ahead and just give you guys a good message. Protect street vendors. It's sad that these things are still happening.
Yeah, I want to add, be the voice that the street vendors don't have. Be their support, be their pillar, be their rock. And we want to give a few shout outs. Want to give a shout out to ALR and GPA for always showing love. Again, they inspired us to do this podcast, and we really wouldn't be pushing this material out if it wasn't for their encouragement. So shout out to them for all the love they've shown. Shout out to all the listeners and anyone else that's supporting the podcast. And with that, like I always say, just chill till the next episode.